Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my bathroom. People were asking me about the pin curls that I was wearing underneath my wig, so I figured I would explain it a little bit more. This is not a styling tutorial or anything like that. This is just basically talking about the pin curls that I had underneath my wig. So obviously I took a shower today. You don't have to take a shower the same day. Actually, if you're going to style your hair, it's better if you wash it the day before, because that way your hair has had a little bit of time to just kind of relax and not be so stressed out from being washed and just conditioned. But I don't want to stink on stage, so I took a shower today. You're welcome. So follow your normal hair routine. I keep my hair nice and moist with this. Make sure that my hair doesn't dry out. I also have this here. This prevents frizz from building up in my hair. I have a natural wave in my hair, as you can kind of see. It does tend to get a little bit frizzy. We're going to use heat on our hair today, or at least I am going to use my heat on my hair. I'm going to use a curling iron, and obviously I'm going to blow dry my hair. So we're going to do heat protectant. You have to have some type of heat protectant, and you're going to spray it on before you blow dry it, if you're going to blow dry it, and then you spray it on before you curl the hair. This also prevents frizzes, but it also prevents damage done to your hair, and heat can do quite a bit of damage if you don't protect it, because then you have to go through all the repairing. And then we need hairspray. Now there are some hairsprays that are not aerosol. Some people like those a little bit more because it's not in the air, obviously. But the non-aerosol is heavier on your hair, and it spritz in a very specific spot in your hair. The aerosol, we're going to be able to just do a couple of spritz. We're going to run our fingers through it, and then it's going to have hairspray everywhere. Because this is not a styling tutorial, I don't need my hair to stay curly forever. It's going to set underneath my wig for quite a bit of time, so I don't really have to worry about the hairspray. But if you are going to go out, you're not going to be wearing the curls for a long period of time, you're going to spray a little bit more on your hair. So I'm going to go ahead and blow dry my hair and get things ready to curl, and then I will see you back. The magic of time lapse. So I blow dried my hair, and it's mostly dry. I have that, if you run your fingers through it, you can tell that it's still a bit moist. I know everybody loves that word, moist. But it's going to be in the curl for a very long time, so my hair will naturally dry underneath my wig cap and my wig, so I don't have to worry about using heat really to dry my hair a whole bunch. If you are going to be styling your hair soon after you've put these pin curls in, then I suggest that your hair be completely dry, unless you plan on either sitting underneath a dryer or blow drying your hair once the curls are in. That gives it a little bit more frizz, so I kind of highly speak against that part. So just make sure your hair is completely dry if you're going to style it. So I have two curling irons. One is a 3/4 inch. You can see how small that guy is. They're going to get the really tight curls. You know Kitty from that 70s show? Bam, your next Halloween costume. The one I'm going to be using today is a 1/2 inch curling iron. Obviously you can see that's a bit wider. It's also going to allow me to curl more of a section of my hair, and it's going to give me those really big floofy curls underneath when it's all done. So what I'm going to do is I am going to section off my hair, and then we will go ahead and start the curling process. Okay, so we're going to section off our hair. I am sectioning off the top bit here. And because I have a lot of hair, I need to use 2 bobby pins. If you don't have a lot of hair or have very thin hair, you can use just 1. I'm going to comb the back section of my hair. Sorry about the armpit shot. Thankfully I did shave that day. I'm going to go ahead and spin that up there and put it into a bun. If you put it into a bun, that lessens the chance of you getting some stray hairs into your pin curls. We're going to go ahead and take this down now. Go ahead and give it a comb. And try and part it into your natural part. I like a bit of a side part. And try and make a nice straight line there. Okay, so we're going to start with some heat protectant on the hair. Go ahead and spritz it on. And use your fingers to run it through. Get that other section out of the way. And go ahead and spritz until you feel that all of the section has been wetted down with it. Like I said, I have a lot of hair, so I like to kind of part it so that I can get the in-between hairs as well. we're going to go ahead and spray it with the hairspray. Again, with the aerosol can hairspray, you really don't have to use as much. Kind of gets everywhere. But go ahead and use your fingers, run it through. The comb will have a little bit of a harder time because of the hairspray that you just used. If you have a protectant rod on your curling iron, please do make sure that it's flat against the curling iron. That way it won't get tangled into your hair. And then I keep my bobby pins in a baggie. I suggest taking out just a few so you're not struggling with the bag so much. And with the bigger curling iron, I'm able to curl a larger section of my hair. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go straight up with the curling iron, or as straight up as you can. And then go ahead and curl it in towards your head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I usually don't hold the curl for more than 10 seconds, so usually between 5 and 10 seconds. Go ahead and slide it off. If you need to loosen it up, go ahead and twist the other way. You're going to grab both ends of the curl and just go ahead and twist it in close to your head. Go ahead and take a bobby pin. Usually just need one for now. And slide it across. You want to try and make sure there's no stragglers. And then I'm going to go ahead, and I like to go from the back to the front. That way I have a little bit more of a view of where my hair is going and coming from. Go ahead and curl it back down towards your head. Go ahead and slide it off. Now this one came off a lot easier than the other one did. Unfortunately, when that happens, a lot of the times the curl isn't very tight. If you're unable to tighten it on the curl down, you might lose it, as I just did. So what you're going to do, and this is the reason why I use a curling iron, you're going to go ahead and straighten it back out and then use the natural curl that the curling iron helped you to get and curl it back down towards your head. Now I try and use a second bobby pin to connect two pin curls together. So my one section is now pin curled, so I'm going to take my hairspray and go ahead and spritz that. Use my hand so that I don't spritz my face, and try not to spritz the back part of my hair. And we're going to go ahead on the next section. Give it a nice comb out. Make sure you don't have any snarls. Start with the heat protectant. Go ahead and spray that in. Again, using your fingers to run it through. And then again, I parted this on the side, so I'm going to have a bigger section on this side, and I'm going to part that in half so I can get the in-between hairs. Here comes the hairspray. Right on there. Use your fingers again to run it through. And again, with the aerosol, as I said before, you're not going to use as many spritz as if you had the non-aerosol. So we're going to go ahead and start pin curling this section. Again, starting in the back. Going to go straight up, or as straight up as you can. Now if you have any shoulder injuries, such as rotator cuff injuries, it's going to be harder for you to get up above your head. So modify as you can. And here, I'm just using my nail to kind of guide the hair down the curling iron. And go ahead and pin that curl. And again, as on the other side, going forward, repeat. Now, as you continue to do this, it's going to get kind of tedious, so don't forget to have a little bit of fun. Usually I put on a piece of music that I enjoy that I'm not going to bounce around to too much. Go ahead and slide it off, roll it to your head, and then again, I'm going to try and pin this pin curl to the one behind it. That just keeps it all connected and for functional purposes keeps it closer to your head. So we're going to continue on with the rest of this section. So now we have that section done. We're going to spritz it with the hairspray using our hand again. Cover the face, cover the back of the head. And then if you see some of these stragglers, don't worry about it. You're not going out for a night on the town with these. So we're going to start with the back section now. So we're going to undo this bun that we've had. And we're going to go from the top portion to the bottom portion. So I'm going to give this a nice little comb out. And I'm going to go ahead and divide the top portion that I'm going to use. Now you really don't want to get a humongous chunk to do all at once. And like I said before, I have a lot of hair. This looks like a lot of hair. I promise you it's not. We're going to go ahead and comb through it. I'm going to go ahead and twist it. Put in that little knot bun. And this bobby pin I'm showing you is a longer bobby pin, usually used for pinning wigs to heads. A little bit more of a sturdier bobby pin. And we're going to take the rest of this hair. Go ahead and twist it and turn it into that bun that we had in there before. And again, I put it in the bun because that lessens the chance that stray hairs are going to get into the pin curls that are closer to the top of my head. Okay, so like always, we're going to put in our heat protected. Run our fingers through. Make sure there's no dry patches and spritz where we feel the dry patches. Here comes the hairspray. Again, spritzing using our fingers, making sure that gets nice and even in there. So we're going to go ahead and start with a small section of this portion of hair. Go ahead and try and curl it in an upward position as we did with the other ones. It's not going to be as strenuous on your shoulders if you go up instead of out. You can see what happened is that I lost the curl. What happened was this part of my hair was more damp than the rest of it. So I went ahead and took the whole portion of it, towel dried it just a little bit more. Go ahead and curl it again. What I'm doing is I am just touching my hair. As soon as my hair gets warm, I know that I can let it go. Use my nail to go ahead and just slide that hair down. So we're going to continue on with this section and keep going and going and going. So when you get to the bottom of your hair, sometimes you'll get those little strands that come out, and you can go ahead and wrap that around the curling iron and go ahead and put it with the other pin curl. I was lucky enough that that one just went ahead with the other strands of hair. Also, as you get further down your hairline, you want to make it a little bit tighter, and you either want to put it right on top or underneath another pin curl so that's nice and tight to your head. Okay, so all the pin curls are in. There's the back of it. Because I'm wearing a wig, I want to keep this up and away from my neck. If you're just doing this for a style, it can be down a little bit. You don't really have to worry about it, but it is going to be functional for me, so I need to make sure it's all past my ears and such. This bit I'm going to pin up. Pardon the covering of my face. For functionality purposes, if you're going to do this for a wig yourself, again, you want to think of functionality as well as the fact that once you take your wig off, your hair is going to look better than if it was just matted to your head because you'd done a braid or something like that. So kind of these big poofy hairs, just kind of pin them down. Not that big of a deal. Take a little bit of once over. Take the hairspray. I've already done it, but just kind of go back over it so it kind of stays in place. If you're going to style your hair and you have a few wisps back here that are a bit longer, but they didn't curl with the rest of it, you can always take your curling iron, curl those, spray them, and then just wait for the rest of it to dry. And once you've put it down, that little wisp is going to be fine. But again, functionality, I can't do that. So thankfully for time lapse, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get ready at the theater and put my makeup on, put the wig cap on, put the wig on, go ahead and do my show. And then after that, I will get back to you guys, take my wig cap off. We'll take all the bobby pins out and we'll see what we got. So keep watching. Okay, so I'm going to take my wig cap off. And those lovely pin curls are still there. A little trick that I do with bobby pins. You take some paper towel and put them, pardon me, into a sink. You can just throw the bobby pins in and then you can collect all the bobby pins at the same time. Just do a little bit faster. So I did in the front so you can kind of see the curls there, but usually I start off in the back, that way you don't have any of the curls coming over so you don't miss any bobby pins. So unfortunately this takes a little bit of time trying to find all your bobby pins. So I usually go by sections, keeping one hand up so that I can find the bobby pins faster. I look like Shirley Temple at the moment. Remember, I put those pins in so that it would hold some down. So now some are not right directly in a curl. So that's why you just kind of gotta feel around for some of them. If you don't know where they come out, find the tip, push down on the hair and push. And that shall push the pin forward so that you can find the bottom of that said pin. I hear my castmates getting out too. So that's usually how I find some stragglers. Just go ahead and go at the hair. So now you've got all this curl here. And I mean, if you're styling your hair, obviously you can style it after this. You look like a crazy person with a bird's nest on. But I'm going to comb it out, and then I'm going to put my headband on. I'll see you back in a second. Okay, so the combing out process pretty much done. So you have these wonderful fluffy curls that you can now style. So it is a Sunday matinee, and I'm just going to go home. So instead of doing something really cute, which is kind of cute, but it's not complicated, just a little headband, and I'm done. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial that I made for you. Again, this is not a styling tutorial. This is just about the pin curls that I wear underneath my wig. A couple of things that I did neglect to mention in the beginning, I apologize. When you're doing this, wear a shirt with no collar, something that is to your back, nice and solid. Your hair can get caught underneath the collar, and once you've taken the shirt off, you'll notice it might have a couple of strands that have been left uncurled. Also, if you're not used to curling your hair, or you're not used to touching the hot bit of your curling iron too, as you saw me taking my hair off the curling iron, have some Vaseline or petroleum jelly ready. That's going to help prevent blistering on the tips of your fingers. Unfortunately, I've been a server for a very long time, and I am used to touching the hot bit of my curling iron, so it doesn't really bother me too much, but I still keep it handy just in case. So I hope you enjoy your pin curls after you've worn your wig, and you're able to go out with your castmates and have a good time and not look like you have just been, doused with water or have used way too much hair gel. So thanks for watching, and see you on stage.